Hello, and welcome to my video guide for the Steelaxe Speedrun in Factorio. I'm Kobai, and in this guide we will go over the basics of what is required to complete the speedrun and the ideas behind going faster. For me personally, I split this run into three sections. Number 1 is the Automation Research, number 2 is the Steel Processing Research, and number 3 is the Steelaxe Research, and this is the goal of the speedrun. As soon as the Steelaxe Research is complete, your final time can be recorded. These splits may differ for each speedrunner, and some prefer just a final split for Steelaxe to avoid having to press unnecessary buttons during a run, so I encourage you to see what works best for you. For the process of this guide, I will use each research as a goal to break it down into easier to follow sections. The setup you're going to see uses the following burner miners and furnaces. This is often referred to as Burner City. 14 iron miners and furnaces, 5 copper miners and furnaces, and 6 coal miners which will be linked. The first few minutes of the run are spent gathering resources and building Burner City up to a size that allows a constant supply of iron, copper and coal. You'll notice that I'm hand mining some copper ore. This allows me to hand feed a furnace and not require the actual miner until slightly later in the run. This will provide a small amount of copper early on, which will go towards science packs. As you can see, all of the large stone rocks around the starter area are required, as they provide the necessary stone to craft furnaces and coal to keep production running. The amount of stone and coal you can get vary by run, so pay close attention. If you're low on either, it may be worth resetting and starting again to get a better start. You will also need to chop down 2 trees during this phase to have enough wood for 10 power poles later in the run. The iron and copper should be placed as shown. I've left the grid lines on to help you see where the alignment needs to be for this setup to work at its most efficient. You may find placing less iron is okay at first until you're up to speed with the build, but again, see what works best for you. At this point, I'm still missing some stone for the final miners. I'll make use of handcrafting and the resources I have available to get some science packs made early alongside some extra gears. This will save some time once we place the lab later. The coal miners are set up in a self-feeding manner. As such, by feeding one piece of coal to one miner, it will produce enough to power itself and feed the next one. This will generate an excess of coal in every miner that you can then take as required. Again, bear in mind you can add miners to this setup if you feel coal is an issue during your run. Once Burner City is complete, the next step is power, 2 labs, and 10 red science packs so automation research can begin. You will need to craft 1 pump, 1 boiler, 2 steam engines, and 10 power poles. Once these are in your crafting queue, you will then need 2 labs and 10 red science packs. If you've handcrafted the science packs in between other items early on, this will speed up the process, but it does take a little getting used to, and is one of the benefits of learning to juggle your handcrafting queue. This is a skill that transfers through to all speedruns in Factorio, and you will get better with time and practice. Once the items for power are ready, get them placed, followed by the power poles and a lab, and ensure you put coal into the boiler. Open the research tab, and you can shift click or double click on a research item to add it to the research queue quickly. This will save you a few seconds. It's worth noting here that you don't need to craft or place both steam engines from the start. The second one can be placed during the second research phase, as you don't need more power until you start adding more labs. As soon as your second lab is crafted, place it and split the remaining red science packs between both labs. This will ensure the research completes as quickly as possible. If you have the resources and handcrafting time, it's wise to be crafting the green circuits and gears that you'll require to build the assemblers next. You may not be able to craft all of them, but any you can craft now will save you time going into this next phase. Next, we need to set up red science production. For this, you will need 9 assemblers in total. Set up the assemblers as shown. You will need the gears and copper wire to help with science production and lab production. Hand feeding resources here is key. Juggling the resources and the handcrafting queue becomes the hardest part. While science is running, make sure you craft at least 2 more labs. The goal now is to get 4 labs placed, feed them with red science, and get steel processing research completed as quickly as possible. Steel processing research will use up science packs faster than you can produce them at this point, so don't try and fill more than 4 labs currently. If you haven't already crafted and placed the second steam engine, now is the time. As you place more labs, the power consumption will increase. Don't forget to top the boiler up with coal, otherwise power will stop. Once everything is placed, it's all about the research. Craft as many labs as you can. Ideally, you want to aim for 16 labs in total. As you can see, keeping everything topped up with the resource it requires is a delicate balancing act, but you will get better with practice. The final phase of this speedrun is the Steelaxe Research. This research is the slowest of all of them, and is the reason we require at least 16 labs. From here till the end of the run, it's all about crafting the science packs, crafting the labs, and keeping everything topped up. A good time to aim for on this speedrun will be 20 minutes, and hopefully this guide will get you there. Once your run is complete, be sure to highlight the stream or save the recording to upload to YouTube later. For more information, follow the link in the description. If you want to find out more about speedrunning, feel free to come find us in Discord. I'll also put that link in the description. If you found this guide helpful, please leave me a comment and like this video, and let me know what you'd like to see from future guides. Let me know in the comments if you managed to beat my final time here. Whilst this isn't my personal best, this is still what I consider a fairly decent run.